alam nandito kayo kasi si Pauline, text na rin sa akin. Kaya inisip na lang natin, straight na lang with our very, very close friends sa house media na lang. Straight to the point na lang tayo dito po. So, maraming salamat ako, and I'm very, very happy to see that you're all well. At alam mo na, ang hirap na ngayon sa pandemya na dapat mag-ingat tayo lahat. Ako rin, isang COVID survivor, kaya ingat-ingat din tayo. Magpabaksin na tayo lahat. Kaya at least available na yata sa house yung sinabi sa akin naman ng speaker, maraming darating na vaccines, and he will make sure that all of the stakeholders sa House of Representatives get their vaccines. Kaya yan ang number one priority po na yung kalusugan po dito sa sa ng pandemya. So, thank you.
Sino bang ganito na lang po, before you throw your question, please identify yourself and the media representation you're representing.
May I go first?
RG, go ahead, RG Cruz.
Sir, RG from ABS-CBN. Sir, I have a few questions lang. First, ano ba yung inyong reaction dun sa statement ni Pangulong Duterte kagabi? Do you have plans of pursuing that statement, yung sinabi niya na mag-Vice President ka? And then my other question is, do you think this will put to rest all of these endless speculations about a coup d'etat in the House speakership?
Okay, maraming salamat RG sa tanong. Unang-una, kagaya sa yung lahat po, nagulat din ako na nagsabi itong commitment sa akin ni President Prrd kahapon sa post sa signing ng reenactment signing ng mga batas kahapon. So, definitely, I'm very, very grateful, honored, and humbled by the consideration ni ating Presidente to consider me to the second highest position in the land. And right now, I've actually not made any concrete plans vis-a-vis a national run. Pero vis-a-vis our work in the House, nakatuto pa rin tayo with the House leadership on passing the proper legislation and the legislative initiatives po to address the pandemic. Yan ang number one priority po ng ating House of Representatives leadership, along with the legislative agenda of our President, to hope to defeat and to make sure that the Filipino people are safe from the COVID pandemic, and to also alleviate po the economic conditions that have been actually affected greatly by the effects of this pandemic. Kaya po, nakatutok tayo dyan. So, definitely, I will, consider that. But sa ngayon po, ang priority po natin, yung focus natin po, ay to pass all the legislation and initiatives that are needed by the administration to defeat this COVID pandemic of ours. So, alam mo naman, in less than 2 months, meron na tayong SONA, bagong budget, and we would like to make sure that the budget addresses the needs of the Filipino people. Yun talagang focus natin. We're focused on the institution, and for what RG made a reference to about any disruptions in the leadership of the House, there's no truth to that. We adhere to the leadership that has been put in place, and we support the leadership under Speaker Lord Alan Velasco. So there's no truth to that, and we are in fact working very, very harmoniously together and very efficiently at that, thanks to all your support as well dito po sa House of Representatives.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ryan.
Okay, thank you, RG Cruz. Sinong next na magtatanong sa atin?
Sir, pwede ba sumunod?
Okay, Daniel Manalastas from PTV4. Miss Sandra, after ni Daniel, ikaw po, no? Okay, Daniel, go ahead.
Madjo, good afternoon po, Daniel of PTV4. Just one question. Sir, maugong din kasi yung pangalan ni Mayor Sara Duterte for presidency. Sir, paano nakipag-meet kayo? Pwede nyo ba ikwento lang ano yung are you open ba?
Daniel, yes, hindi ko madidinig yung ano.
Daniel, medyo nag-garble
Ay,
ka. Ulit mo lang yung tanong mo, please.
Sir, we all know naman, sir, maingay yung pangalan ni Mayor Sara Duterte for president sa 2022. Kung sakali ba, sir, are you open ba na makatandem po siya in the 2022? And pwede nyo rin ba, sir, ikwento lang kung ano yung mga napag-usapan nyo, sir, nung nakipag-meeting po kayo sa kanya nung last po na, I think nung birthday niya.
Okay, ang unang-una si Mayor Inday Sara, ay natin unahan yan kasi she has to make her final decision on the matter. But definitely, Mayor Inday Sara, her brand of leadership will augur well. Pwede talaga siya sa national, no? But we don't want to preempt. At sa ngayon po, hindi pa siya nakadecide. Kaya yung tanong mo medyo premature pa ata. And I've not even decided also myself on a national run. But definitely, it is something that we will be considering and making consultations with our party mates and our constituency. Nung bisita natin po sa Davao, nung birthday niya po, we went there to extend our greetings, our felicitations. Kaya nung na-COVID ako, talagang mabait talaga si Ma'am Inday. She was texting and making sure that we were okay. So nagpapasalamat ako. We are fully recovered. And we are one with her in the fight against the COVID. So we were there. Kaya unang-una, matagal na meron kaming alliance, no, between HNP and Lakas, and that started even before the 2019 elections. And right now, as the majority leader, I work closely, no, with the HNP members in the House, no, with Chairman DS Paolo Duterte, with Kong White Kurat Zamora, with Kong Garcia, and the other HNP affiliated party list congressmen sa Damper, si Kong Claudine Bautista, si Kong Sandro Gonzalez. So we have a close relationship po, and we are looking forward to strengthening it further. And as we look towards the 2022 elections, kung baga hindi kami maghihiwalay, in fact, we will strengthen our alliance, and we will formalize that very soon at the proper time, at the appointed time, at what is most mutually convenient to both parties po. So yun lang po ang kahulugan po ng ating bisita niyan sa Davao nung birthday po ni Ma'am Inday. Of course, obviously to extend our greetings for and on behalf of our party and from our party mates and allies in the House of Representatives, and also from our family. Yun po ang ang gist po ng ating conversations and dialogue sa birthday niya po.
Thank you po, Madjo.
Thank you, Daniel. Hi, Ma'am Sandra. You have the floor. You can ask Majority Leader Martin Romualdez now. Go ahead po.
Sir, tanong ko lang po yung di ba sabi niyo you'll be assessing your plans, your options. Iko-consider niyo po ba yung plans din po ng cousin ninyo, si former Senator Bongbong Marcos, in your decision?
Obviously, alam mo na sa politika, lalo na sa theater of national politics, marami namang interconnections, and we are always in conversation and in dialogue. Everyone is making sure that their brand of politics para sa panahon ng pandemya is to serve the people and to alleviate the suffering caused by the pandemic economically as well as health-wise. So we have the common thread and common vein. Ito parating ang pinag-uusapan natin po, whether it is with former Senator Bongbong, Mayor Inday. We all talk about how we can all work together and how our efforts today will resonate in the actual outcome of the solution to the pandemic and to the crisis that economically it has wrought on the Philippines. So yun po parati, and then so we are very sensitive to everyone's decision and their plans. So we just try to keep abreast, but right now, that is the main focus po. In the House, what we can do as the majority leader, it's a teamwork under the leadership of Speaker Velasco on how we can be a more efficient House of the People to pass the legislation that is needed, to help support the administration in the COVID alleviation, mitigation through the vaccination program and the various protocols being instituted po.
Kung ihabol ko na rin po yung paano po ba yung context ng usapan niyo ni President Duterte? What was the context when he brought up the vice presidency topic when you talked to him?
Sa totoo lang po kahapon, medyo nabigla din ako kasi he made reference to conversations that we had in the past, dun sa closed-door meetings natin that we've had in the palace. One, his suggestion on the resolution on the speakership race na yung suggested formula na how it was adopted by not just the House leaders but the House as a whole. At may reference din daw siya na if we could actually all work together, and part of that formula was his mention of possible run in the national in the national race as a vice president. So if indeed I would desire that he would be supportive, if I still felt that he was very, very effective, which he still is, in influencing and into supporting candidates at the national level. So it was just in that context, and then he made reminders to me in front of the House and Senate leadership after the budget signing late last year. And in passing, he's also mentioned that to me in some conversations. So, well, as they say, si Presidente ay may palabra de honor talaga sa mga usapin. Kaya maraming salamat po sa ating mahal na Pangulo. And then, as I was saying in my statement, asahan ninyo po kayo na hindi kita bibiguin dito sa yung tiwala nyo sa atin. So, we are very, very humbled and honored that he would consider us, congressman from the Eastern Shayan region. It's a developing region, and we have not had much representation at the national arena of politics. So it's very humbling and very comforting that the president would consider representative from our area po.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Sandra. Thank you, Ma'am Sandra. MJ Mondihar from SMNI TV.
Sir, magandang hapon po, MJ. Magandang hapon, sir. MJ Mondihar of SMNI News. Actually, tanong na ni Ate Sandra yung tanong ko. Pero, ang gusto, kasi malaman, sir, ng tao ngayon, kailan po namin malalaman yung inyong pasya or... Kasi, sir, marami din ang, kumbaga, nagulat din sa pahayag kagabi ng Pangulo. And, meron po ba kayong pag-uusap ng Pangulo or nag-usap na po ba kayo ni Presidente Duterte, sir, after his speech last night?
After yung speech niya, inulit na naman niya, di ba? Inulit na naman niya, no? And then I was very, very, grateful na kinukonsidera niya ako at may tiwala sa akin na may kakayanan ako po dyan. So, but I told him that I would still, consult with him before I make my final decision. And yung panahon po yun ay sa period of filing of certificates of candidacy. So, Oktubre pa yan po. So, marami pa natin gagawin. So, tututukan po natin yung trabaho natin sa House. As you know, although nag-adjourn tayo ng Sine-Die, we have to make sure and we have to monitor the progress of the committee hearings sa House so that at least uunsad po yan. And then we have to still look at the bills that are still pending in the Senate vis-a-vis possible BICAM arrangements and the amendments and the adoptions by the House for that, particularly like that, yung sinabi isang priority niya, yung amendments to the retail trade law. So we're also actually after the fair kahapon, yung na-record po, there was also a meeting with the stakeholders sa BARM tungkol sa postponement po ng elections dyan po. Because of the COVID, nakaka-delay po yung mga trabaho ng mga Bangsamoro Transition Authority, kaya hinihingi nila ng postponement po ng kanilang election. So, itong mga pinag-uusapan, itong tinututukan natin po habang may break tayo, and then as soon as we resume after the SONA, the budget will be submitted, and we have to focus on the budget. That's the #1 piece of legislation every year, and we know that it is a budget that will be addressing primarily, the COVID pandemic, its effects, particularly not just on the health of the people, but also on the economy.
Sir, last na lang po. Ano po kaya yung possible na turning point na makakapaghimok po sa inyo na tumakbong VP sa susunod na halalan?
Ay, sus Maria, talagang hindi natin po malalaman other than the fact that kukonsultahin natin po yung ating constituency. Alam mo kung ako po yung representante sa primerong distrito ng Leyte, covering Tacloban. At ngayon po, sa halip ng ating pandemya, nagsa-search na naman dyan. Kaya sa totoo na nakatutok pa rin tayo politically sa local, no? So our focus right now is still on the district and of course on the region, no? So we want to really keep our eyes on the ball there, both in the district as well as on our house activities and duties thereon. So hindi natin pag-iisipan, pero we will deliberate on it, pray over it, and pray for discernment from the Almighty, and of course with our leaders, no? Not just in the party, but we'll also even consult the President moving forward as because his endorsement for a possible run if we so desired po.
Maraming salamat po, sir.
Maraming salamat din.
Thank you, MJ. Welcome is Hansel Cuevas from PRTV FMR. Ma'am, you can ask Majority Leader Martin Romualdez now. You have the floor po. Hansel Cuevas.
Okay. Hello po. Good afternoon, Madjo, Sir FM. Kasi dito, may audio na po. Yes, sir. Okay. Good afternoon po, Madjo, FM, Sir FM. Good afternoon po. Actually, dito sa Region 8, when we heard about endorsement of President Duterte, ang daming natuwa. You were endorsed by the most powerful person in the country. If ever you accept the position po, what can we expect in Region 8 po? We in Region 8 expect from you. And also,
yes.
And also po, sir, with the endorsement po of President Duterte, the possibility for you to run for Vice President come 2022 election, mas mataas po ba yung chance?
Okay. Unang-una, nagpapasalamat tayo talaga sa ating Presidente Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Alam naman din natin lahat sa Region 8 po, ang dami niyang ginawa para sa atin, lalo sa pagtapos ng Yolanda, tumulong siya bilang mayor, yung Davao 911, at nung naging presidente siya, talagang finast-track talaga niya yung rehabilitation po ng Yolanda-stricken areas ng ating rehiyon. So definitely yung endorsement niya ay malaking bagay, kaya as you know, yung acceptability, trust ratings niya ay napakataas. So that has a great influence po, not just only on a potential candidate like me, kaya ako pinag-iisipan ko ngayon, but also amongst the voting populace kasi mataas yung trust rating niya. So if that so transpires, but even regardless of that, nakatutok po din kami sa ating mga constituency diyan sa distrito sa Tacloban, sa municipalities there in the first district. Pero siguro alam naman hindi po yung may bahay ko si Congresswoman Yeda Romualdez ay ang party list ng Tingog Sinirangan that represents also the region. Kaya our focus in our service is not just to the district but to the entire region. So sa lahat ng magagawa natin po para sa ating rehiyon, yun talagang priority po natin. At nung tumakbo akong bilang senador noong 2016, yun po din ang hangarin ko po na dapat talaga ma-represent din yung mga rehiyon kagaya ng Region 8 na usually overlook kasi medyo maliit at developing pa. At sa halip po ng mga trahedya kagaya ng Yolanda at ngayon po yung pandemya, kung minsan naiiwan po ang mga regions kagaya ng Region 8. Pero our President has already recognized and has done much already for our region, and to even consider us, a congressman from Region 8, talagang nakakatuwa talaga na malala niya tayo dyan sa Region 8, and that we are worthy of being considered to the second highest position of the land. And we will do everything, and we will be focused na para sa ating mga kababayan sa Region 8, sa lahat ng mga Samar and Leyte provinces and all the people there, lahat ng yung kalusugan po nila, yung kabuhayan po nila, yun po talagang prioridad natin at yung edukasyon. So we are all focused there no, on those top priority areas and issues. And we are one with the President in doing our very best. So yun po talagang focus natin at kung mangyari po man yan, itutuloy po natin yung serbisyo and we will try to bring even more to the region and to other regions similarly placed that are sometimes overlooked or not as well attended to po.
Okay na po. Question. Michelle Girang from Daily Manila, from Daily Tribune. You are now recognized, Michelle.
Hello po, good afternoon, Majo. This is Michelle Giliang po. I'm a reporter of the Daily Tribune. And question ko po, in 2019, during the pre-SONA, the Daily Tribune has interviewed PRD. And as early as 2019, the president has been endorsing you as a candidate for vice presidency. And I quote po, sabi ni PRD, "He is a good person. If he wants it, then I will support him." Can you take us back po during that time? Would you know po how did he come up with the idea? Have you expressed to him that you wanted to run for that position po?
Well, sa totoo lang po, sa usapan natin po ni PRD, I've never actually brought up the idea of running as Vice President. Pero talipon na itong usapan natin. Siguro galing po to sa aking pagtakbo nung senator noong 2016. At I was also included in his senatorial slate. Although limited po yung resources natin noon sa kampanya na po, I wasn't able to join him in most of the sorties. Pero alam na niya na meron din akong advokasya na para ayunlad natin yung ating mga kababayan po sa Region 8. So he knew that I also had ambitions for a national office. Although at that time, senator po ang hinahabol natin. No? So alam niya may ambition din tayo sa national after having served 3 terms as the congressman of the 1st District of Leyte. So baka nakita po niya na sa mga usapan natin dati sa kampanya, sa mga plataforma, siguro nakita naman niya na meron tayong din ang vision para sa ating mga kababayan, not just in the region but nationally. So siguro nakakaisa din tayo dyan on his fight against corruption, criminality, drugs, and of course the upliftment of the welfare of the people. And sa halip po itong pandemya, nakatutok din tayo lahat dito sa COVID, sa mga vaccinations, sa protocols. So we are actually very, very united in a vision in terms of what we can do for our country. So I've not actually asked for the position. Siya po ang may idea niya na to consider running for Vice President. And kaya napaka talagang honored po ako at very humble po. Kaya hindi na nga sa ambisyon ko yun. Pero siya mismo ang naglagay po sa isip ko na pwede na ako tumakbong bilang Vice Presidente at susuportan daw niya ako po.
Thank you po, Majo. Another question po. According po kasi sa account ni President Duterte, he promised to support your vice presidency bid. Kaya daw po, sabi niya sa inyo, wag mo nang habulin yung speakership post dahil 2022, i-support kita as vice presidential candidate. Do you confirm of his account po? Ayun po ba yung reason kaya po tayo nag-settle sa majority leadership post?
Well, opo, kasi yun din ang actually sinabi daw niya kasi nakita na pa ninyo noong 2019 na tumatakbo or hinahabol ni former Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano, Speaker Lord Alan Velasco at ako. So, para hindi maging acrimonious o hindi masyadong maging madugo siguro politically sa House, sinuggest niya itong formula kasi actually lumapit din tayo sa kanya to help us resolve the seeming impasse, no? So, yun po ang sinabi niya kasi nauna po sila Speaker Lord Velasco at saka si Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano, and then I came in belatedly lang daw pero nakita naman din niya na seryoso din ako and we had some support that maghati na lang silang dalawa and then I'll serve as the majority leader, which I've done since 2019, And kung may balak ako sumabak sa national, susuportahan niya akong bilang Vice President if I so desired po. Yun.
I see, sir. Question po ulit. If Mayor Sara was given until July this year by HNP to decide on her presidential bid, have you also given yourself somewhat like a deadline?
Wala naman deadline. Siguro yung deadline, susunod natin yung sa COMELEC, yung sa October na lang. At sa ngayon po, tutukan na natin yung trabaho natin sa Kongreso at saka sa distrito kung ano natin maibibigay. Kasi alam naman ninyo lahat that you all know that during this time of the year, no, after the SONA, people start focusing already on their re-election bids and their campaigns. So, kung minsan na mapabayaan, pero hindi pwede naman mapabayaan po yung mga very important measures dyan sa House. And that's why I still have to make sure that we are focused and that we still continue to drive the initiatives forward and efficiently as possible. Mabuti na lang, meron tayong Zoom, kaya miski malayo tayo, makakaroon tayo ng quorum, nakakatrabaho din tayo. So we still have to be focused there. So I'd really like to say that this is my priority first, that we have to finish up the 18th Congress strong. Yun din ang bilin sa akin ni Speaker Lab na so far magandang performance natin, pero he wants na even the last regular session of the 18th Congress we finish strong, so we will focus there. And of course, on our part locally, we have to focus on our district work, and there's a lot to actually focus on and work on. The vaccination program, the protocols, the safety, the well-being, the recovery of those afflicted with the COVID virus, and of course, more importantly, nationwide talaga, and how we can actually help and support the economy to get the economy up and running again, and that we can get the people out working and going back to school, and making sure that livelihood through businesses and enterprises are back to normal. So yun po talaga ang focus natin. And then as each day passes, we will consult, but we shall also pray a lot, seek for discernment from the Almighty, and at the proper time consult our leaders, and that will also include the President and whoever will put their hat, so to speak, in the political arena at the national level.
Okay, sir. With the Lakas CMD party naman po, may napipisil na po ba tayong standard bearer for 2022? And would you consider, or would the party consider Duterte Romualdez tandem for 2022?
Well, we haven't made any final decisions yet, but we will consider all. We will consider all candidates, and as you know, the political calendar, as outlined by the COMELEC, will suggest that we'll be having conventions where we will actually thresh this out, and that should be right before the filing. So we'll know by then, after proper consultations with our growing number of party members in Lakas.
Sir, last na lang po talaga for me. With the idea of running for Vice President next year, can you share to us po, ano na po ba tayo? 50-50 dun sa idea?
Medyo nabigla rin ako kahapon kasi so I'm equally as surprised, pleasantly though, I'm very honored, but right now I'd like to still as I said earlier, focus muna dito sa trabaho natin eh. As you know, the BARM election postponement is still very much in our minds. The resolution of the priority legislation that are pending in the Senate, babatoin pa rin yan sa House kasi may mga amendments din yan po. And then we're anticipating the budget, that's the biggest piece of legislation that we'll be facing. So sa ngayon, I don't want to say hindi ko iniisip or malayo, pero it is not the top priority at the moment on this run. But definitely, it has captured, I guess, not just my imagination, but even yours, for you to ask for me these questions. But nonetheless, it's a great honor to be considered, and I'm deeply humbled and thankful to the President for remembering not just what he said in the past, but for still, after all this time, thinking about the possibility that I could ably represent the country at the second highest position in the land.
Thank you so much po, Majo.
Thank you, Shell.
Thank you, Michelle. Is Neil Mercado from Daily, from Inquirer Online, still here?
Hi. Hello po.
Hi,
Rinig po
Neil.
ako kay Rai.
Yeah, loud and clear, Neil. Go ahead, Neil.
Okay, good afternoon po, Majo. Neil Mercado from Inquirer.net po, sir. Sir, just a couple of questions. For a more categorical or clearer picture lang po, sir, you will be running in 2022. Wala pa lang possession. Tama po.
Yes, I'll definitely be.
Okay po. Sir, second question lang about House talks. Actually, sir, not about the elections. Priority measure, sir, once the House resumes.
Ay, budget talaga. Yan ang number one. And then, of course, as you know, we still have the Biennium 3. The speaker and I were able to consult with the Secretary of Finance yesterday. And we're still hopeful that we can get that moving. But we all know, so also within 2 months, meron 2022 budget. So we hope that one way or the other, the issues and our concerns that were included in
Per second.
is to enable, the president to be more, how should I say, more supported, by the House to do more for the people, particularly through the ayuda, through all the help that we can extend through the introduction of more vaccines into the populace, and to support the economy moving forward. Yun po talaga ang mga priority po natin. Yun ang talagang tinututukan na po natin.
Final question na lang po. Nakausap ko po si SP Soto yesterday and I believe there were 3 proposals regarding the setup for the SONA. May update po ba, Majo, regarding how the SONA will go this year?
Well, actually, it will be probably quite similar to last year's na blended, na there will be those that will be present, in the House, we've actually asked and we will coordinate, with Malacanang, our friends in the Senate, and of course, those in the executive, the ITF, to allow those participants at the SONA, maybe we could increase the number and accommodate them at the gallery spaces, and we will afford it to those who have been fully vaccinated. So that will also make manifest that if you are fully vaccinated, then it would allow us more flexibility, mobility, and more liberality in treatment, and I think that will encourage more to also address the vaccine hesitancy, and since it will be the last SONA of the president, I think it would be good to show that we are progressing and moving forward with the vaccination program, and still maintaining social distancing and the protocols outlined by the IATF, and in coordination with our counterparts in the Senate to make this last SONA a very, very meaningful one vis-a-vis the President's message to the people, particularly in this time of the pandemic.
Thank you po, Majo.
Salamat.
Thank you, Daniel. Joy Cantos from Filipino Star ngayon. Hello, Joy.
Pero please lang, isusugan ko lang yung question ni Neil sa SONA.
Okay, sige. Go ahead. Daniel.
Madjo, tanong ko lang din po, yung bang media, i-allow nyo na rin ba kung fully vaccinated na mag-cover po?
I'm sure that the SecGen, who's also been behind the vaccination program, will make allowances kasi I think yun ang napakaganda na nakikita natin sa ibang mga bansa sa mundo na fully vaccinated, to make more allowances, so that will denote and show na kung vaccinated kayo po, may liberality, of course, not foregoing with the use of masks, and the social distancing, but that would allow more liberality for those that are actually now fortified with the vaccination. So I think a consultation with the SecGen would not hurt, and the mention of the increase in numbers or participants was actually brought up, to the president and to ES by the speaker. I was there, and consultations also with Secretary Anyo was made. So I think there will be a heightened possibility that mas maraming participants, and we can actually use the gallery space, as suggested po by speaker to the ES, no, as to where we can accommodate, no. So I think we'd like to do that, no. So it's just a matter of working it out and coordinating with the, with Malacanang, our friends in the Senate, and as well as the stakeholders of the House. So we look forward to that po, that more participants will be, but we also have to, the countervailing, influence there is, of course, the security, both health and security of the president too, and of course those who will be participating.
Thank you, Majo.
Thank you.
Okay, Joy Cantos from Filipino Star ngayon. Hello, Joy.
Hello, Ryan. Clear na ba?
Okay na, ikaw na. Okay, you're recognized, Joy.
Good afternoon, Sir Matthew, sir. Sir, aside from surveys, the conventional wisdom holds that candidate rates and popularity influences the Filipino voters' decision. If ever, what is your preference for a presidential candidate? Anything in mind?
Well, obviously, we have to have a president with the right vision, and we see that those who have actually projected themselves into the national consciousness, most of them have that vision of actually alleviating the plight of the Filipino people amidst the pandemic and the economic crisis that it has wrought. So I think we have a good crop of presidential candidates ahead of us. And what we'll just be telling is, of course, the practicality of the numbers that are yielded in a survey, and that will basically reflect their trust and their awareness, and how they can convert that into votes actually delivered, for their respective candidacy. So it's very clear. The issues are very, very clear, and they have not differed. They've just been, how should I say, highlighted now. Dito sa pandemya, talagang naging mas grabe talaga yung mga kailangan po, yung kinahanglan talaga ng mga tao dito sa ating bansa ay sa ekonomiya po. Everyone is affected by the pandemic. It's affected the economy. Jobs have been lost, livelihoods have been affected. So we have to really be very focused there. Once we do that, and a very, very important parcel of this, as they would say, is the vaccination program that would allow more mobility and more access to the services and the infrastructure that allows the economy to thrive, and that's been greatly affected in this past year and a half, so to speak. So talagang we have to get things moving. We have to get the economy opening up, and we have to do it responsibly, though. So because the economy is so affected, we have to do everything we can to support those who are most greatly affected, and to also get businesses back and running, so that we can make sure that the employment rates will increase, and so that people can work, goods and services can be produced and delivered, and in other words, to jumpstart the economy again, and making sure that we do this with the health and well-being of every Filipino in mind.
Sir, just one thing, sir. Meron na po ba kayong napupusuan?
Opo. So we will let you know dito sa filing kung sino po yun. So abangan. I hope naman this will not be our last time that we will be able to see each other and to talk. And then we're hoping that next time baka meron tayong yung press conference na personal.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Maraming salamat din po.
Thank you, Joy. Mr. Junil Tumis of Boses Radio. Mr. Junil Tumis, are you still around? Okay, wala po. Si Ma'am Sandra, nakataas ang kamay. Ma'am, may questions pa po? Ito na po. Sorry. Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Sir, Madjo, maupay nga kulop.
Kulop, kamusta?
Okay man. Pag okay lang kami later. Ang tanong ko lang, sir, gaano po kayo kahanda na iwan na muna ang first district ng Leyte?
mahirap talaga yan. Alam mo, yan ang talagang kapuso ko, yung first district, that's my hometown, that's where my family is from, and that's been our focus ever since. And unang takbo ko, we wanted to make Leyte first, number one. Although after after our our term there, was about to wind up sa 2013. Na pa tayo. So nakita natin po na talagang hindi pwede pabayaan talaga ang first district. It would be very, very difficult to do that. But I know naman that, I'm very happy that si Kong Yeda, my wife, had served in the Congress that where I could not, after my 3 terms expired. She did a great job at yung constituency ay lumawak sa buong rehiyon. So it is a region and particularly district that's very close to my heart. So it is not something that I can so easily and readily do without a lot of discernment and prayers and consultation.
Opo. Sir, nabanggit niyo po yung lady is close to your heart. Dito po sa kung sakali po tumukpo ko yung Vice President, meron po kayong close to your heart, which is Senator Bongbong Marcos. Kung tatakbo siya, mag-decide po siya to run for President, and nandyan po si Mayor Sara, sino po naman ang susundin ng iyong heart sa kanilang dalawa?
Ay, siguro naman yung dalawa ay magkaibigan. Actually, nakita daw sila nung bagong maka-birthday, and I understand that may kasundo naman sila that they are working working together. So, mukhang malayo po yun ang nakikita natin na hindi sila magiging kasama o katambal man dito sa 2022. So, I'm sure that we will not have to make that decision. And I'm very, very happy that the close relationships that they have in the family, and in fact, si Senator Amy just the other day, and Mayor Sara had a dinner together. So yung mga pamilyang Duterte at Marcos hindi yan mag-aaway. So we won't have to make a decision such as.
Okay, sir, i-ano ko na lang tong pagkakataon na to. No? Magpa-fiesta na po sa Tacloban. Ano po yung plano ninyo? Ano po nga abangan ng mga kababayan natin dito from Congressman FM Romualdez?
Well, more of the same. As you know, we have the pandemic. Alam mo naman tumaas na naman yung numbers ng COVID na positive. Napupuno na naman hospital, kaya naging kami ng mga vaccines na may dagdag natin dyan sa Tacloban and to Region 8. Kaya we have to be very responsible po, kasi alam mo naman yung fiesta, that siyempre pag may fiesta, maraming tao, so sa halip po ng isang pandemya, talagang nakakontra talaga yung spirit ng isang fiesta na maraming tao. So we have to still moderate, the activity, and anyway, yung sa loob naman natin yung fiesta, that is also a religious celebration. So konting tiis na lang po dito, but let's abide by the ITF protocols, the quarantine protocols. Kaya ay naman natin mag-enjoy tayo sa fiesta, tapos pagkatapos ng fiesta, lahat ng kakasakit naman po. So konting sakripisyo na lang po, hintayin na lang natin mga vaccine. Nag-umpisa naman sa Tacloban pero kulang pa rin. Pero sa aking panananaw po, yung maybe hopefully by next year, mas maganda na yung fiesta po natin. Pero dito sa fiesta po natin sa Tacloban, let us just pray to our Santo Niño that he will help us overcome the pandemic, and that sana umupa na itong COVID-19 sa buong Pilipinas at sa mundo.
Okay, sir, before ako magtapos, pinapaabot po ni Sir Papa Villanosa yung kanyang pangumusta sa iyo. At mula po dito sa Kaboses Radio at sa Leyte, damo nga salamat nga maupay nga kulupay mo.
Ayos. Salamat himandamo sa Kaboses Radio. Kamusta, Bob?
Andito. Baka may gustong tanong. Okay na daw. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Ito. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Junel. Siguro last 2 questions na lang. Recognize natin si Bernard Taginod, ang saksi ngayon. Bernard, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Madjo. Kanina ino-obserbahan kita kanina pa, simula pa lang. Pag tinatanong ka sa Vice Presidency, kinikilig ka, is that a sign?
Ikaw naman. Hindi makikilig biro mo yung presidente i-endorsein ka, di may tiwala siya sa atin. At saka, siyempre, humble talaga ako kasi, di ba?
Wala na.
Region 8 po kami po. Tapos, usually overlook po kami sa national at, po konti lang ang nahalal po at the national level. So, minsan man, hindi siguro mga masama na kilig tayo dyan sa honor, di ba? Sa the honor of being considered, no? So, but beyond that, no, beyond the very, very the honor, the flattering tribute to be considered, there's a lot of responsibilities behind it, no? And we are not one to shirk from responsibilities, but at the same time, we have to exercise discernment, and we have to be deliberate in our decisions so that we make sure that our decisions are not based on personal motivations, rather on how we can best serve the people. Okay, itong position natin, yung mga pwesto natin, these are positions of public trust, and for so long as we continue serving our people, our constituencies, addressing their basic needs, their wants, their desires, all the things that would make their lives a better place. And as the President says, he wants to have a country where there will be more comfort for each and every Filipino. So I think we are one there, no? So how and best do we fulfill this, and in what capacity po? So yun po ang pinag-iisipan din natin ngayon on how we can best serve, and how we can serve not just our specific constituencies, but as we elevate our persons into the national arena, so to speak, of public service po.
One more. Paano pag tumakbo si BBM as a Vice President too? Sino magbibigay sa inyo? Kasi magpinsan kayong buo ba?
Ay, sa totoo lang po, no, as I said earlier, I don't see any conflicts, kaya bago makakadesisyon tayo, mag-uusap-usap naman din tayo. So, I don't foresee any conflicts as what you're anticipating, kasi alam mo naman, lahat ng mga conflict or problema, basta harapin natin, mag-usap-usap tayo, bago magkaroon ng problema, masusolbahan natin po. And then remember, what we always do is that just like what we try to do in the House of Representatives, we have the seal behind us, we always look after the best interest of the institution, and in this particular case, at tanong mo, we are going to look after what is best for the Republic of the Philippines, and our style is actually to mitigate conflicts and try to find solutions, no, on how we can all work together for the betterment of our constituency and our people. Imbis na mag-away-away na lang, mag-usap na lang tayo, makasundo tayo, at sama-sama tayo dito sa pagka-solve ng mga problema ng ating mga kataong bayan.
Salamat. Thank you.
Salamat din po.
Salamat, paring Bernard. The next to us, the next question from CN Philippines. Sian Makanghel. Sian?
Hi, Madro. Good afternoon po.
Hi, Sian. Paki-regards lang kay Ma'am Pia. Sabihin mo na lang, at sinabi ko kay Ma'am Pauline na sa'yo na lang, magbibigay ng interview dito. Kaya, one shot din. Kasi kung hindi, buong araw ako magpapa-interview, baka hindi maganda kung nasa TV lang ako para nagka-interview parang buong araw. Pero I'm coursing my message to you, to your very, very venerable news organization, the CNN. My deepest respect po to Ma'am Pia and to CNN.
Opo, okay po, makakarating. Madro, tanong ko lang po, may picture po kasi na lumalabas sa social media about kayo po ni BBM and Senator Amy with GMA, parang may lunch po. Can you tell us more about that po?
Yes, GMA tendered a lunch for Senator Amy Marcos and former Senator VP Bongbong Marcos at her residence sa La Vista po. I think the overall theme of the lunch discussion was that Senator Amy was asking for some advice, and then there were just exchanges updating as to what are the plans of everyone there, and so it was a very, very cordial, very, very pleasant lunch, and I think Senator Amy and former Senator Bongbong also were very, very appreciative and grateful for all the support that President GMA had extended to them in their national runs by helping not just in Pampanga but in Central Luzon for the respective candidacy. So I think it was just another, how should I say, get together and catching up and exchanges of ideas. And I guess soliciting some advice. At least, I was sitting beside them, so I could hear very much. I may trying to get good advice from President Jamie on how to be a good senator, and of course, just the usual banter about current events and possible national issues po.
Kailan po yung get-together na yun?
I believe that was last Monday. Yes.
Okay. And then last na po sa akin, sa third regular session po, would the House leadership consider na damihan po yung number of congressmen na present sa plenary?
Yes, that's what we were discussing earlier po. Kasi yan, we're hoping the speaker manifested at the Malacanang session the other day, yesterday, that for those that are fully vaccinated, perhaps they could now be allowed to attend, or that could be actually a priority for those who are fully vaccinated. Of course, still maintaining the social distances, that are required, and availing the spaces at the gallery level, Kaya dati sa floor lang talaga ang naka-concentrate po yung tao. So we're hoping that we could come to terms there, and that the Malacanang officials who are in charge, and that is the House and the Senate, would make this accommodation for those,
Okay, thank you po, Majo.
Thank you so much, Sian.
Thank you, Sian. Last question na lang siguro. Si Ma'am Sandra ba nagtataas ng kamay?
Ray?
Opo, yes,
quick
ma'am.
question lang kay Sir kung...
Opo, go ahead. Last question na po tayo, guys, ha? Opo, Ma'am Sandra, go ahead, ma'am.
Sorry. Sir, hindi ko lang na-catch kanina. Will Lakas be forming a coalition with Hugpong?
Actually, ma'am, it's not necessarily what you call a coalition, just an alliance. You may recall in 2018, Lakas was the first national party to actually have an alliance with HNP in furtherance to the Senate elections, the national elections, And so we in Lakas, were able to field a number of candidates as well, and we had this alliance with HNP. And similarly, the other national parties followed suit, So we have an alliance, And in fact, we're looking forward to revitalizing it and renewing it for the 2022 election.
Yes, Kong. Thank you po.
Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you, Sandra. Would like to take this opportunity to thank my media colleague for your support to House Majority Leader Martin Romualdez and his wife, Ma'am Yeda, King of Party Sen Yeda Romualdez. Salamat po. Bago natin tapusin, Sir Majo, mayroon ka pong last word for them?
Well, maraming salamat po. Alamin naman niyo to na ever since I joined the House, and especially when I was not just the majority leader but part of the head of the independent minority bloc, kayo pong malaking support at tulong po sa akin, not just in our advocacies but in our respective leadership positions. You are very, very important to us, and that is why I go to you. Every time I need to know what is on the minds and the hearts of the Filipino people, you are usually on top of the situation, and you know the pulse of the people. So I thank you also for sharing with me your thoughts and your concerns, and feel free to let me know. And I hope to see you not just via Zoom but personally again, which I used to enjoy a lot, those press cons that we'd have together at the House. So we look forward to that. But meantime, please everyone, stay well, stay healthy. I know that there are vaccines available already in the House. Try as much as possible to avail of that, to get fully vaccinated, and stay safe. And we'll keep you updated, as well as you letting me know as to what are the current issues that are actually facing not just us, but the country as a whole. Maraming salamat po. And Ryan, thank you for moderating this afternoon's press con. Thank you, and I am really very happy to see all of you again.
Thank you, Majo. Thank you, everyone.
Paring Ryan, thank you.
Oy, Marvin.
Thank you, Kuya Ryan.
Okay.
Thank you.
Kita tayo. Namimiss ko na kayo.